Well, it's all very lovely and bright and orange here at Rotech, and I'm joined by Richard Pether, Director of Rotech. Now, the reason I mention the orange, this is all very new for you guys, isn't it?
Very new for the show this year. We've just rebranded. We were previously quite blue, but now we're very orange. So we've got a new brand, and for the first time we've got a custom-built stand where we've got plenty of orange on the carpet and orange on the walls. So we're really excited to have the new brand and to give it its first outing at the PPMA show this year.
And it's all in aid of a special anniversary for you guys as well.
It is indeed. 20 years ago was when Rotech was founded, so it all coincides with our 20th anniversary. So yeah, another great milestone.
Well, congratulations on that. Now the stand's looking brilliant, and you've got some fascinating machinery here to show us. So let's crack on and take a look. First one here is RF compliance. What does this do, Richard?
Okay, well the RF compliance has been developed for the pharmaceutical industry, specifically where they need to do printing of cartons and inspection of cartons. And what's new for the show here is that we've got a system which also adds the serialization number onto a carton to comply with the Falsified Medicines Directive, which says that each pack has to carry a unique number. So what we have is a carton which has been printed with the usual fixed information, the GTIN, and then the variable lot and expiry, but then underneath we've got the unique serialization number. So when the machine is run up, this reject flap just deploys so that it clears the conveyor of anything that's already on the conveyor, and when we feed a carton, it comes past the printer, under the camera takes an image, and because it likes what it sees, it allows it to travel onto the shingling conveyor where the good cartons all run off onto the stack. Now if we feed one and we reject it, and we can do that just by putting the carton in front of the camera has turned red, and that bad one has gone down into the reject bin. So it's just sitting there with several rejects in it from when we were setting up earlier, but in general, when we're in run mode, we're producing all good cartons, and they're all coming along, and we can see all the different serialization numbers being printed on the cartons as they run.
Fantastic. You can see what an efficient machine that is, and it's also very compact as well, actually.
It is. It's designed really to allow a pharmaceutical producer to produce a pre-printed stack of cartons that are all serialized, and that could be because either the batch quantities are quite small, or because they're hand packing the product subsequently, or they may have a number of automated lines that they want to supply from one central station. So this gives them the ability to produce a pack of pre-serialized cartons that can then go into the next process and then can be read further down the line to confirm the numbers that have made it out into the supply chain.
Fantastic stuff. Now there's a couple more machines that are linked to this, and they are marking elements of the business. So which one would you like to look at first? Shall we have a look at this one over here? Okay. RF Auto.
Right, RF Auto is new for the show. It's a development that we've made to cope with the different styles of pack that we get in terms of thickness and contour. So what we've patented is a system here that allows the machine to automatically compensate for the thickness of product that's passing through it. So in this instance, we're feeding a flat carton, but we could be required to feed something like a pouch of this description, where we've got not only the welded gusset at the bottom, but we've also got a resealable strip. So as that passes through the machine, there's quite a variation in thickness in terms of what the product's got to handle, or what the machine's got to handle. So when this resealable strip comes through to the fingers, then or the gating devices, they just lift out of the way and the machine carries on running. So it automatically compensates for different thicknesses of product.
So that's giving a lot of flexibility to your end users, because it means it's not just one machine for one specific type of packaging.
Yeah, well that's right, and what we're finding is that packaging is changing. Well, it's always changing, but also customers come to us who want to feed different styles of packaging. The marketing people are always coming up with innovative designs of things like cartons and pouches. They still need to bear the regulatory information such as the use by date, and they want one system which will cater for everything they need to do.
Now, talking about use-by dates, I know that's relevant to our next machine, which is the RFLight over here. Now, this is a really compact machine, isn't it?
RFLight's really compact. We designed RFLight last year. We launched it at FoodX, and it was designed to be a low-cost date coding system for food sleeves. £7,500 is a really good price for a system that will allow you to run food sleeves off at good speed. We've just got some orange cards in there, but that's the sort of speed that you can run food sleeves through the machine at. And if you imagine, that will probably take a coding operation which would have lasted, maybe a day. If somebody had to sit down and manually code sleeves, say 2,000 or 3,000 sleeves, that might take them a day. They'll probably do that now in, something like half an hour.
And you've got an example of the sort of...
And that's the typical, typical date coding of food sleeve. Again, we're specialists in handling different sizes and shapes of product. So in this case, it's a rounded product, but we cope with what our customers need us to.
Absolutely, and this is going to save so much time, particularly if you're talking about an end user that might have been doing this by hand before.
No, absolutely. It's a really good proposition, and we quite often take these into customers, and they insist we leave it with them. They don't let us out the door because they can just see how it's going to transform their coding operation. So it's been really popular. It's a really good seller, the RFLight. Yeah. We've always got one in the boot of the car.
I can imagine the price point of that is fantastic as well for smaller businesses.
No, absolutely. And that's really been the key to its success, that even for a smaller business that's only running, a few thousand cartons a day, it fits in with their needs and fits in with their budgets.
Wonderful. Now, I know that there's another element to the business which is more to do with your printing. So if we can take a walk down to the other end of the stand, and perhaps we can take a closer look at that, because you've got something quite innovative on this particular printer here, don't you?
Yeah, this conveyor is designed to show our range of thermal inkjet printers. The common link in the three machines that you've just seen is that they're all fitted with a thermal inkjet or TIG printer, which uses an HP cartridge. Now that's absolutely ideal for the first machine that you saw, where we're printing a data matrix barcode, because the resolution of the printer is high, it gives a very dark print, and it invariably gives you a data matrix code which gives you an A grade. But we also use it on the RFLight for the date coding of the food sleeves, and you saw a multi-head on the RF Auto for printing larger areas. And then this is just another little innovation from Marco Print with the range of printers, and this is called a non-stop print head. And in this instance, we've got two print heads that are just married together, and so two cartridges, and then as this printer is running, as product is running underneath the print head, one side is doing most of the work in a 3-to-1 ratio. So this will be printing 3 times for every one. It means that both sides are active, but one's doing most of the work. And then when this one is empty, this one will take up the strain, and it will start printing 3 times to every one of those, knowing there's still some ink here, and that gives you time to take that one out. You get a warning, change the cartridge on the left-hand station, and then when you come back and clip that back in, the system knows that there's now a new cartridge on the left-hand side, and then when this one's starting to run low, it knows it can pass the burden onto the left-hand side. So non-stop printing, so the line never needs to stop.
Now, it's quite a simple solution, isn't it? But it's those simple solutions that actually make a massive difference, because that means this line can keep going all day.
Now, that's right. And certainly when we're installing these systems onto customers' machines, that's the thing they want to do. At a very minimum, they want to run it for a shift where they can turn the printer on and it just keeps running. Very often a carton will do several days operation, so that more than caters for them. But if they've got more or higher ink usage through larger print, then the non-stop will make sure that even when they come to a cartridge change, it keeps printing.
So PPMA show, who are you looking to meet while you're here? What would be your ideal customer to come to the stand?
Our ideal customers probably split across quite a number of sectors. We certainly do quite a lot of work with the pharmaceutical industry, the food industry, the medical industry, but then the technologies we got for feeding and for printing take us into a whole variety of industries, industrial, hardware, really anybody who needs a marker pack. And certainly for the Rotech range of machinery, anybody who needs to feed a pack and either mark or maybe label it.
Well, wonderful stuff. Thank you so much, Richard, for taking the time to show us around Rotech and just a few of your machines. It's been really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.